think anyone can learn that. I think it's the simplest of all the skills, okay? And if, with my analogy about the bag of golf clubs, that's the driver. That's one of the most precious skills, I think. And it's much simpler than people imagine, okay? Because we all have feelings. We all have emotions that kind of come up spontaneously. You know, we don't ask for them, but they're the weather inside of us. And in order to find out what it's like to be Ronnie, I really need to tune into that so you can learn how to describe them in such a way that the other could relate to them. And what it does is it opens up a whole new aura of discovery. We become more alive to one another, but I think the biggest value is that there's a connection. Even if we disagree, we could still have this emotional connection and feel close. So that's why it's the driver in the bag, because now we have a way to always feel close, right? So, but it takes a little bit of learned skill to be able to describe what you're feeling vividly, you know,
the key to empathetic listening is to be able to get in touch with your own feelings and to be able to relate to what the other is feeling. Okay, now that takes attentiveness. First of all, you know, to engage in empathetic listening, and again, it's a discipline, and it's a learned skill, but it's not difficult, and so anybody can learn this. Even men can learn this, even though we have a hard time because of our culture, you know, getting in touch with our feelings. But basically...
But we're not learning it from scratch. I want to say something here. I think everybody, you know, men and women, know how to do this. We just don't typically do it for each other in marriage, okay? If you have a little boy in your life, okay, who's upset about something or who wants to communicate something, and he's having trouble communicating, you know what we do? We get down on his level, we pay attention to everything, we notice how his eyes are filling up with tears, how he's jittering, how, you know, and we coax it out of him, right? We listen so actively, right, to the 3-year-old, but we don't do it for each other, you know? We don't notice the expression on his face or that, you know, and that's so, you listen with your eyes as well as your ears, you know, and you just tune into the other.
Right, and for me, realizing that when Kathy is sharing how she is feeling in the present moment, for me to really engage and listen empathetically, but to really discover who she is, which is the goal. This isn't a word game, it's to know Kathy and to know who she is. I can acknowledge that I have felt that feeling sometime in my life. Of course, now that requires that I learn how to get in touch with my own feelings, that I'm willing to do that.
And it may not be in this situation. It may have been a different situation.
In a completely different set of circumstances. But I've had that feeling, or I felt, you know, anxious, nervous, sometime in my life. So for me to bring up that feeling and bring it into the present moment, my memory and my experience of that feeling, allows me to connect it with what Kathy's feeling today. So I can learn how to do that. It gives us an incredible emotional connection in the present moment. And the skill that's involved is just learning how to identify and describe what I'm feeling so that I can relate to what she's feeling.